Happy Friday, guys. Today's home workout is a CrossFit benchmark workout. It's an AMRAP 20 of 5 handstand push-ups, 10 pistol squats, and 15 pull-ups. This benchmark workout is called Mary, and this is a workout very focused on the gymnastics endurance and working on gymnastic strength as well. So today's progressions will vary a little bit from person to person. So I want you to choose something where you can keep around every 2 minutes for 20 minutes. So you're trying to aim to get about 10 rounds done in this workout here. Handstand push-ups, ideally done unbroken. Pistol squats, can't really do them unbroken, but I want you to find that pace that will allow you to finish those 10 without taking significant breaks in between. 15 pull-ups, you might need to take a break there. And if you don't have a pull-up rig, you guys can go for your towel pull-ups where you attach that towel in between your door frame there, or you can go for bent over rows, whichever option you usually do, or if you can switch it up and do something different, I encourage you to do that. But these 15 you might need to do in 2 sets, so 10 and 5, 9 and 6. Think about that as thinking about breaking up twice. That would be the progression that you would choose for the workout. So not necessarily unbroken, you will need to break this up in later rounds. Handstand push-ups, it's okay if you don't have them. You guys can use a dive bomber progression or go L position handstand push-ups where you have your feet on the box. You get yourself into an L position and then you do a handstand push-up from there, except your feet are not off the ground or in a full handstand position. And pistol squats, I encourage you to try lots of variations with this. If you have pistols, stick to them. If you don't, you can go for some shrimp squats, skater squats, reverse lunges. Weighted reverse lunges are always a good option too to build the strength. Whatever you can keep that knee and the hip nice and controlled throughout the movement. So if you notice your knee or your hips are really kind of unstable when you're doing that movement, then I would go down a progression because you are going to be doing quite a few reps in this workout. On that, guys, make sure you write this one down for this workout. This is a good benchmark to kind of see where your gymnastics are, where your gymnastic strength is at. So make sure you record this one, so we will be testing this one later. After the workout, guys, we're going to do kind of a cool down with a little bit of skill work. Also, you might get some mobility work out of this too. Doing dual arm Turkish Get Ups. We've done these ones in the past there. We're doing 6 sets of 1 here. If you can use some weight. If you're new to the movement or have never done it before, don't worry about the weights today because this one is actually tricky on its own in terms of just like learning how to get yourself into the correct positions. But ideally, this is as simple as it is. It's trying to get up off the ground without using your hands. It sounds easy, but it's difficult once you start getting your hands overhead and trying to really rely on twisting your hips and getting your feet in the right position to be able to stand up. So make sure you do check that one out and try a couple of reps at least, see how that is, and if you can, use some weight for it. Other than that, guys, hope you enjoy the workout and the afterburner. We'll see you next for the warm-up video.
Okay, let's get ready to warm up here. We're going to start off today's warm-up with the 90-90 hip rotation. So opening up the hips. Really the 90-90 is to focus on your internal rotation and your external rotation in your hips. A lot of times, whether you're squatting, you're running, box jumping, anytime you're moving the legs, we're not necessarily moving effectively in our hips because the rotation in our femur, so your thigh bone, isn't necessarily recruiting all the correct muscles. What I'm trying to get at is your hip flexor, your psoas, to be specific, tends to get neglected. So this 90-90 really helps, guys, to open it up, loosen it up, and slowly start firing those smaller muscles. You start in your seated position, heels on the ground, guys. Knees are about 90 degrees. From here, notice how my hands are hip in line with my hips or slightly behind. You can play around with this. You're gonna drop your knees, okay? You drop your knees, you feel maybe it's a stretch, whether it's on either leg, hang out there, hold it, okay? If you can't touch your knee to the floor, just gently try to push down as your body relaxes. Now it might be tricky to see, but my knees are actually about 90 degrees, both of them. That's where the name comes, the 90-90. From here, I'm going to rotate my knees to the other side without lifting my heels off the ground. So notice how I'm just rotating, but my heels did not change position, okay? So now I'm feeling a little tight here, so I can feel the stretch myself. So I have to reposition my hand. The key here is do not reposition your heels. It's really easy to like, yeah, I'm doing it, but you're actually not rotating through your hips when you're moving your feet. Okay, so you're gonna rotate in your hips, so this thigh for me is externally rotating as this one is internally rotating. So I'm feeling that rotation in my hips. Then I reverse the order. External rotation, internal rotation on the opposite side. The key here, guys, use this as a stretch. Feel the rotation in your hips. As you get more comfortable, come off the ground with your hands. See, can you not move your heels, but use that core to stabilize yourself. After you've done that, now let's get that heart rate going. Let's get those muscles fired up, guys. We're gonna go for 3 rounds, 30, 20, and 10. Alternating step up. So starting with 30 alternating step ups, you're gonna go up, step down, go up, step down. Trying to fire up the hamstrings and glutes on that one, okay? Stabilize your knee, so don't let your knee drop depending on how your object is. Watch for that, okay? Once you've completed the 30, then you're gonna go into your push-up position. So your high plank. From here, shoulders over your wrist. You're gonna bring your knee to the opposite side. Bring your knee to the opposite side. You're going for 30 mountain climbers, crossing your body, getting your core fired up, okay? From there, the last movement, going for some bent over flies. So I'm using these 10-pound plates here today. I'm gonna hinge at the hips, so lean forward by sneaking my bum back. From there, my back is flat, and then I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades, bring it down. Squeeze my shoulder blades, bring it down. Do it until 30. As you squeeze your shoulder blades, don't roll forward. It's okay to bend the elbows slightly so you can maximize the usage of your upper back. If you have the flexibility in your bicep and your triceps and your back muscles, feel free to go straight, guys, but play around with it to make sure you get the most out of your back without lowering the plate down too much. So you're not doing this, okay? Try to keep them in line to your shoulders. Once you've completed 30, you're gonna roll back onto your step up for 20, repeating your movement, working your way down on the last round, doing that final round of 10. Have a great warm-up. See you next in the workout.
With the push-ups here, guys, again, let's try and keep that nice tight hollow body, stay nice and straight the entire time. So with that said, let's not sag those hips, keep that butt tight, and then we're curling in that rib cage, keeping the abs tight. For the push-up here, I like to keep those elbow pits, or the inside elbow pits facing out in front of me. So I don't want them to face inwards. I like to keep them facing out in front so that when I break at the elbows, I'm keeping my elbows already nice and tight to my body. So that's a good cue for yourself, especially also when you're coming up. You want to think about pointing those elbow pits back out again. So you guys can do your push-ups off those toes. You guys can do a push-up where you come down and then rock back up from the knees, then to the toes. Kind of like a kipping push-up there, that's totally fine, as long as you're keeping that core nice and tight. Last thing, you can also try going off those knees. Just one error I see sometimes with these knee push-ups, guys, is that we keep our hips bent and then come down and push up like this. I want you to keep yourself nice and straight. So from your knees to your shoulders should be one straight line, come all the way down, and then back up again. For the pistols today, if you have pistol squats, go for them today. You can go off the end of your couch. or if you have a ball or anything that you want to go up to a height to work on that pistol, you can do so. Also mentioned you guys can do some reverse lunges for the workout as well. So I'll use a weight for those reverse lunges. I'm going to try and put a little bit more weight on that front foot or the working leg there. So my left leg's going to be on the floor there. I'm going to drive that right leg back, trying to put as much weight in that front foot. And then as I start standing up, I'm going to shift my weight to that front foot and then stand it up from there. Then switch, opposite leg comes back, and then you drive through that front foot. You can also play around with doing some curtsy lunges too with that weight. So we're going to send that foot behind that front foot, out to the side, trying to keep the hips as straight as possible or square as possible forward, and then driving through that front foot to stand it up. This one will work a little bit more on the inside of the leg and the stability of the knee laterally, so you can work on that as well as an option for those pistol squats today.
Off with a bent over row. So in that bent over row, feet are hip width apart, knees are perpendicular, don't round your back, so flat back, feeling tight, maybe you're up a little bit more, that's fine. If possible, drop down. From here, you're gonna row that bar, in my case, as close as you can to the body. So if I had a single object, I'm still thinking about nice and tight with my elbows, not to the body, but the back, to allow me to mimic that tight bar path that I can get with a PC pipe or bar. Okay, welcome back for the afterburner. Going into the dual arm Turkish get up today, 6 total. Do one, take a break if needed. You're gonna start on the floor, just like any Turkish get up. This one's an interesting one, so we're gonna demonstrate it without any weights here. Always get the steps down first before you think about adding any weight, okay? Your arms are gonna start in the overhead position. You're in that sit-up position, so heels are on the floor. From there, you're gonna do an actual sit-up. So you're gonna go up. Notice now his back, Yasha's back is nice and flat. He's sitting on his bum. From there, he's gonna go to the 90-90, meaning knees are gonna drop down. So he's almost in that 90-90 position, sometimes that we warm up with. From there, you're gonna lean forward to shift your weight onto your knees, open the hips, so you're now locked out. You're gonna swoop your heels back, so you're in this kneeled position. From there, you then go into a lunge position. Now you can stand up. You finish the movement going up, but you gotta reverse it back down. So to go back down, you're gonna lunge your knee down. You're gonna bring the other knee to the floor. From there, you're gonna sweep your heels in. You're gonna sit slowly back down, trying to get to that 90 position. So just as needed. From there, you're gonna sit on your bum. Okay, keep that control. Now you can lay back down onto the floor. Notice how tricky that is. It will take a lot of thinking, process power here, guys. So take it slow. Watch this segment over and over until you got it before you add any weight, okay? Again, you got 6 sets to do of single sets. Have fun with the dual arm Turkish get up.